Hey, what's up, and welcome back to another episode of Something Fishy. Today we'll be fly fishing one of the local ponds. It is winter and weather has been crappy and all the bass have really slowed down, so I kind of threw a bunch of stuff at them the last couple days with no luck, and I tied up some of these flatwing flies, little bait fish flies. We're going to give this a try and see if this will entice them. I've really been trying a bunch of different things and nothing's really working on them, so maybe this will do it. All right, so if you haven't already, please subscribe and let's get fishing. All right, so what we're gonna tie today is a flatwing fly, and there's a break in the weather, so we're gonna have a chance to go give it a try, get some bass on them. All right, so we're gonna start off with a Kamagatsu B10S stinger hook in size 1. And first we'll be laying down some bucktail. We'll have white and olive in this build. And for the wing, we're going to be using our Chartreuse Grizzly Woolly Bugger hackle. This is what I got. That has some nice color. And we'll also be adding in some flash, some polar flash and pearl, so we can get that to sparkle. I don't know if it did or not. And also just a little bit of mono flash in black. This just adds a little bit more depth to the fly. All right, so let's get to it. Let's start tying. So first we're just going to grab a little piece of white. Small amount, just something to build the body up with. But first we should lay down some thread, because once we cut some bucktail off, it's going to be all over the place. You really do want to have your thread down first. We're going to go a little bit past halfway or so. Bring it back up. Cut off the remainder there. Alright, so I'm going to start this just right about halfway down the hook shank. And we're just going to grab a little tough, not too much. Pull out your underfur. Now I want this to stick about, well, this particular fly is going to be a little bit shorter because my wing, the last wing that I have that's a good size, is fairly short. It's about 2.5 inches. So we don't want this to be too much longer than that. So we're going to put it right about there. I like my bucktail to at least be the length. Let's see, I can go longer. We can go longer. We only got a few wraps on it, so I can pull it no problem. There we go. That's where we want it. Now I want it to kind of spread around the hook a little bit. There we go. Hold it in place. Wrap forward towards the eye. Now I'm going to twist this up and cut it. And when you do that, it makes a nice tapered fur on there. So when you wrap it, you don't get a huge clump. That was a sloppy wrap, but you get the idea. Now here's when I like to add my polar flash in. I'm just going to fold it over once on itself. So get about 7 to 10 pieces. I lay it on top about the length of the fur. Now I'm going to wrap it forward just to use up some of the polar flash. You don't have to do this, you can just pull it off the back and cut it, but now I'm going to wrap it back onto the body. Boom. There you go. And it's kind of tapered. That last piece I just laid over is a little bit longer. So you got a good start. Oh, also, I left out a part of the fly. We'll be using some of this Arizona diamond dub in the red for the little red underneath the throat, for the gills and whatnot. Alright, so I just use one piece of this mono flash in black. I'm going to fold it over once, cut it in half. I'm going to wrap this forward. Just going to fold it over the thread and wrap it back. And I just let that go over it once, really. I'm not trying to be too controlling. There we go. Now I've got a little bit more body, a little bit more depth to the fly. Alright, so now we put our wing on. This will be our green woolly bugger. Hackle. Do your best to lay that on top of the hook and the fly and make it as straight as possible, and adjust it as you need. Wrap it back forward, make sure it's on there. Alright, I'm happy with that. It's pretty tight. And it's staying fairly straight. My first couple of ones were all wacky. Alright, now we're going to add our green top to this fly. So I'm going to grab a section. A little thicker than our first group of white. I'll pull out some of this under fur. Now position your fur on top. Do a couple light wraps. I'm going to make sure that all these are on top here at the end. They like to spin around. There we go. I'm just going to do a few wraps forward. Now, I like to build a little bit more body to this flies on the bottom. So I like to come back in with just a touch more of white. I mean, the smallest amount. Doesn't have to be much at all. just going to add that right on the bottom side of where those wraps just were. And I'm going to take this right up here. I'm going to trim this off because I'm not going to do any reverse ties or anything like that. Okay, now we got a little bit more body underneath there. Make sure everything's all straight from the top as well. And I did forget to mention another piece of this build is we're going to put on some, I think these are 1/4 inch eyes, maybe a little smaller. Keep on calling it a build because I built combat robots and other things like that. This tie, there we go. Let's add in some of that red at the bottom now. Oh, we'll wait. We'll wait. Now fold your fur back and start your bucktail and start making a thread down. And you'll eventually start to climb the bucktail, and it will start holding itself back. There you go. Now I'm going to add in that tuft of red. It's going to get some of this diamond dub. Pull it apart, and it will, you lightly shred it basically, and it straightens all the fibers. You want to do that until they feel pretty straightened. And what I've been doing is just folding it over onto itself, over the thread. And secure that in place. There we go. All right, now we're ready to whip finish. Could have gone a little more forward with the fly, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to be fine with the top here. So now I'm going to use a little bit of super glue, some good model grade super glue, and glue these eyes into place with a very light amount of super glue. And I position the eye a little more on top to free up the gap for the hook. And it's good not to glue your finger to the eye. That's what just happened. Twice. What's going on? That eye was just a fail right off the bat. I got one of those 100 packs. There you go. Now I'm going to use some UV resin to kind of set this in place. I'm going to use the Solares Thin Hard. And I'll also dress the eye with it as well. Put a little bit in the gap here, fill that up. Just blast it real quick to hold it in place. And you want to make sure your eyes are straight in every dimension. This way with the line with the hook, and also this way, front to back, because they will steer the fly if you do not take them in consideration. You'll have them all to the side and your fly will pull to that side. Alright, so now I'm going to fill in the top gap here. Top side of the hook real quick. Light it off. This is thin so it runs pretty quick. I'm out of the thick at the moment. Alright, now I'm going to actually go over the eye. And I'll make that eye light up a lot more. And I run the glue into the surrounding fur to make sure it helps hold the eye on. And I'm just going to hit it real quick. Don't have to do it very long. Just so it doesn't run. If you don't do that, it will drip. All right, now we can hit that up. Pick up all the stuff I knocked over. All right, now you can use your light, and this could take a while. You could hit this for quite a while. But I won't do that to you guys. We'll just get it enough so it's not tacky anymore. I like to bring all my flies that I do this out into the sun, but we haven't really had any sun the last 2 weeks. So yeah, we got this like mohawked fly. You can leave it like that. Kind of looks like a chicken, a rooster or something. Looks pretty funny. But now you give it a haircut. Just want to trim along the eye. The way I do it is I trim along the eyes, and then I start kind of feathering these back lightly. You know, just don't really force the cut. You don't want to make a straight edge too much. There we go. And you can do a little more if you want to be more streamlined. These thicker ones that are folded over, they're not going to move as freely as these back ones here. So trimming these up helps with the shape a little bit. And also you can work side to side, like the side of the fly, if you feel it's too bushy. There we go, and you know, just trim it till you like it. I'm not liking it yet. There we go, I'm liking that. All right, there we go, there's my flatwing fly. And you know, this bottom here looks a little much, so I'm gonna trim that off a little bit. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's check the weather. It should be good. Let's go try it out. Let's see if we can catch a fish. All right, gear-wise, what we're using is my TFO Pro 2 in a 6-weight, 9-foot, and the Lamson Liquid 5 with some Rio Big Nasty fly line to get those bass flies out there. And I'm just running some 12-pound fluorocarbon with a loop knot to my fly I just tied last night, this Flatwing. And this is on a size 1 B10S by Kamakatsu. It's a great stinger hook. First cast with this fly. Not sure how fast it sinks or whatnot. Oh gosh, that looks good in the water. Oh, I'm liking that. Oh jeez, I've never thrown one of these Flatwings before. I also got these new Smith glasses. These ones are designed for not like super bright days, and today is not a super bright day. So I was gonna see if these would darken it too much where it's unusable on a day like this, but they are perfect. I can see just fine. These are the guide's choice. All right, let's put them to use. There we go. I wasn't sure if I had a fish or not. Wasn't doing much fighting. There we go. Oh, it's a decent bass. It's actually a decent fish. There we go. Nice. It's just sluggish and cold. It felt like I had a snag and I just kind of ripped on it. Oh yeah, look at you. He's a beauty. Got a beauty. Oh yeah. Ooh, look at this little beauty. Oh, it's doing a good pull. Doing the good pull. All right. All right, look at this bat. All right, let's see. There we go. There we go. Look at that beauty. That's a nice fish. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. All right, there we go. All right, you little beauty. You have a good day. Thank you. There we go. Thank you, thank you. All right. Nothing like winter bass on the fly, huh? So thanks for checking out this episode of Something Fishy. If you happen to enjoy it, please like it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.